Hey folks, Brandon Schaefer here. I've done this once before on my Color Theory series, which is a playlist you can find on my channel page. But I'm going to do it here again just because I think a lot of people, I've gotten a lot of new subscribers that may not have heard about the Color Theory series. And I just want to do it here in a different and more presentable way. So what I have is primary colors and plus white. Now you can choose any primaries you want. I like red, yellow, and blue. Some other artists have come up with a new color primary, which is cyan, magenta, and yellow. But I'm not going to get into that. You can look that up on your own later. So I'm using cadmium red medium, cadmium yellow medium, and ultramarine blue. You can use cobalt, any other kind of red and yellow. Whatever primaries work for you, that's what you can use. So I'm laying out the colors here, and I'm going to try to do this in a logical way so that you guys will understand the color wheel and color mixing, and also how to mix neutrals. A lot of people are having trouble mixing neutrals, and it's very simple, and I'm going to break that down here. So I'm laying these out in a triangular fashion, and you'll see why I did that in a second here. So let's get into this. This is the primaries of the color wheel: red, yellow, and blue. I put white off to the side here because just to have it. Now the secondary colors is when you mix the primaries, two of the primaries. So red and blue is purple, red and yellow is orange, yellow and blue is green. That creates the secondaries, which I'm going to do right here. So when you mix these two together, there we go, we get a purple. It's a little strong on the red, so I add more blue. Okay, purple. I'm going to clean my brush off. Give me a second here. Now I'm going to make some orange, so we get yellow, a little touch of red. Again, probably strong on the red, so I'm going to add more yellow. And there's a simple orange. Okay. Very basic, right? Very simple. Very simple. Now to get green. See, there's no reason you need to buy a green straight out of the tube. How hard was that? It took me 2 seconds to grab blue and yellow, mix them together. There's a green. If you need a yellow green, you put more yellow in it. You need a blue green, you put more blue in it. Simple, 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 folks, simple. Keep it simple. That's what I'm stressing here today. That's what this is about. And if you're a beginner at painting, if you're in your first 5 years of painting, use this color palette. Red, yellow, blue, white. Don't use anything else. Don't add burnt sienna. Don't add raw umber, don't add anything else. Do at least 50 paintings using this color palette. Do 50 paintings using this color palette. Understand what you can make with this color palette. Then if you want to add another blue in, if you want to add phthalo blue, and experiment with what kind of greens you can get and what kind of purples you can get with that. Then start playing around. But do 50 paintings, 100 paintings with this color palette. And get used to color mixing. You know, some people could do 3 paintings and they go, okay, I'm used to this color palette, I'm going to add all the other bunch of colors in. That's not how it works. I'm going to get into that in a different video, but let's stick with this. So right now, we don't have any neutrals. This is the color wheel. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. The primaries, secondaries. Now in between that are the tertiary colors, which I'm probably not going to mix. But all you do is add a little bit more blue to this green and a little bit more yellow to this green. Then you'll have yellow green, green, blue green. You do that with each secondary color and you get the tertiary colors. Very basic, very simple. But what I'm going to talk about is neutrals, because people don't understand, or they don't understand this very simple concept, and that's why they need to stick to this basic color palette to understand what neutrals are. Neutrals is when you mix colors that are straight across from each other on the color wheel. So red and green are going to give you a neutral, blue and orange are going to give you a neutral, and purple and yellow are going to give you a neutral. Now all these neutrals are going to be slightly different. And that's the fun of this, is that you get to play around. But what do all these neutrals have something in common? Red, yellow, and blue. Because when you mix blue and orange, you're really mixing blue, red, and yellow, aren't you? And when you mix purple and yellow, you're really mixing yellow, red, blue. See what I mean? And when you mix red and green, you're mixing red, yellow, blue. They're all the same, but it's different degrees. You can have a more red neutral, you could have a more green neutral, you can have a more blue neutral, a more orange neutral. So that's what I'm going to show you here real quick. So I'm going to take some of this orange and I'm going to mix it out here, or let's see, I'm going to mix it in the middle right next to the orange. So we got some orange there, and I'm going to mix just a little bit of blue starting out. If I need more, I'll mix it. Now let's zoom in on this. Now when I mix the blue and the orange, sometimes if it gets a little bit green, that just means you add more yellow in the orange mixture, because blue and yellow make green. So you're going to get kind of a greenish brown, and that's fine. So I can mix even more blue to that if I wanted. So now you're seeing, okay, that's a neutral. It's an earth tone, right? Compared to this orange, compared to the blue, compared to anything else, this is neutral. You can add a little bit more orange back in it if you need to. More blue. You know, so now you can get it more of a blue neutral, a cooler neutral, or you can add more orange. So there's some neutral from blue and orange. Alright, now let's make a neutral with purple and yellow. So I'm going to get some of this purple and mix a little bit of yellow. Now you can see they're very similar, but there's different degrees of reds and blues in all these, and yellows. And my brush is a little bit wet, so it's kind of stealing paint from the palette. So let's add more purple here. See what I just did? I went into red and blue and I'm mixing it with yellow. All the neutrals are exactly the same. They're all red, yellow, and blue, red, yellow, and blue, red, yellow, and blue. But it's what amounts of these colors. Okay, so there's yellow and purple. Now let's do green and red. So we'll take some of this green, mostly all of it probably, because red is really powerful. Let's mix this up. Let's just get more yellow and more blue. So there's a green. And I'm going to mix a little bit of red into it. So now you get more of a reddish brown. So there's the neutrals. See what I'm saying? You have this range that these neutrals use the exact same colors. That's all red, yellow, and blue. If you just mix red, yellow, and blue together, you get a brown neutral. The thing is, what kind of neutral do you want? Do you want a reddish neutral? Okay, add more red to it. That's a little strong. Or you can add more blue to it. Now if you add more red and blue, you get a purple neutral. So now there's a reddish neutral. You can create a yellow neutral. Now if it starts getting too yellow, you know how to neutralize it. You add purple. But what is purple? Purple is red and blue. That's how you neutralize the purple or the yellow. Now I'm getting a golden neutral. I can have a blue neutral if I want. How do I neutralize blue? Well, it's red and yellow because that's orange. And that's how you neutralize blue. And there's just different degrees you can do. You can neutralize it as much as you need to. You can add a ton of more blue if you want. You can have no blue in it. I mean, it's all just, okay, is that too blue? You need more red? Okay, add more red. If it starts getting way too muddy, just stop what you're doing, wipe your brush off, and clean your brush off and mix new color. Try it again. Try something different if it starts getting too confusing. Now, if you need to lighten any of these up, you just add a touch of white. Add it in there, you get different values. If you need like a pinkish neutral, you just add a little bit of red and white. There you go. Simple. It's simple. When you keep it like this, it's so simple. Now this may look confusing to you now, but remember, it's just the primaries and different amounts of each one. Red and yellow makes orange, blue and red makes purple, and that makes green. So if you need a green neutral, how would you make a more green neutral? Well, you start off with green, and then you add just a little bit of red. Red will neutralize the green, but if you want it more green, you keep more of the green in it, more of the green mixture. So now I have a toned down green. Now if you need it more blue-green, okay, you add more blue. Now it's a cooler green neutral. If you need it yellow-green, you add more yellow back in. Sometimes you'll have to add more blue to give it more of a green look. See, it's just walking this balance. If you need it lighter, okay, you mix white in. Add some more yellow, keep it strong. There you go. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. I hope it makes sense. And I encourage you, if you are in the first 5 years of your painting experience, or at least the first 3 years, I just have been painting for 3 years this month. And I've been using the primaries like this. Sometimes I add in a secondary blue, or sometimes I change the blue, change the red. I've just now started adding different colors, but not always. Only when I need them. But I definitely encourage you to use a limited palette. This is how you get good at painting. This is how you get good at mixing color. You see how easy I made all this look? Because it's not that it's easy, but when you simplify it, it makes it easier to understand. Color theory, color, how to mix the correct tone that you need and to get what you're looking for. So I hope this helped. I hope this made sense. If you have any questions or comments, post them down below. I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching. Peace.